I think that I sell out. A lot of it's word of mouth, but a lot of it is the way that I farm. I feed everything organically. I do not feed GMO. There is no hormones, no pesticides, no chemicals whatsoever. I actually tell people I'm beyond organic.
We were working a lot of sustainable things before. We just kept at it, that's all. And then when we got involved, started doing this organic, then it wasn't hard, because there hasn't been any chemicals on this farm since 1980.
It's providing food for your family, good, clean, wholesome food. And I found out that the more involved I got with this, the more my family grew, that all of a sudden my family became my friends, and now it's friends of their friends. 50, 60 dozen eggs a week, and I can't keep up with demand. You know, it's crazy. Back when his dad was farming, if you got 50 bushels an acre, you thought you were doing well. And then, you know, the advent of chemicals after World War II, and now bigger, faster, better, cheaper. I mean, it's not. It comes with a price tag. You know, there's a lot of challenges to being able to start in on a farm. I truthfully don't know how we would have done it if we hadn't inherited the place. I don't know how anybody would do it in today's market. It's either a farmer gets old and dies and his kids don't want to do it, so they sell it off, and toe-to-toe in an auction, you're never going to beat a developer. So there goes another farm.
And that's where you got to get some of these programs started, where you can get them involved with somebody that's starting to get close to retirement, that wants to keep the farm farming, and don't want to try to sell the farm for 3 times what it's worth.
Farm population's aging. Me too. And the ability to have help with tasks that you want to perform, but age is catching up with you and you just can't do it anymore. I've been here 30 years, he's been here 55, and he's 6th generation on the farm. Up until 4 years ago, we were working dairy farm, but the dairy industries, you know, I think most people are aware from headline news about how bad dairy farmers have it, and it was another downturn that finally kicked us out.
You got to do a little bit of everything. You better be pretty well diversified. It's the biggest problem with conventional farming today. They've got them all one track. They got their eggs all in one basket. If you drop the basket, we're in a lot of trouble.
I've always had a huge garden, but to make that leap into vegetable gardening acres is something that I need help with. I've always looked at the kids as the solution. I have a great deal of faith in youth. Today, what those Farm Corps kids did for me is absolutely amazing. We had taken half a ton of each of these feeds in these tubs, and we had nutrients that we had to mix in, some for pigs, some for chickens. And they took and bagged that feed up so that it can come up here to the pasture on this thing for the animals. That saved us hours. And with them, they just chatted while they were doing it. And with us, it's labor.
It helps the farmers, also helps these people that are doing it. It's in the Farm Corps. It teaches them what to do, because most of them aren't around it.
No? I've never seen a speech like that before.
I don't remember what the name was. I had 2 packages of it.
Do you have any more shovels or rakes?
So you bring them out here. You teach them how to grow it, how to do it, why to do it. Yeah, you guys can just get them involved. Just like that, it gets a lot of work done. It takes some of the load off of me, you know. And if I can teach them what to do, you know, I can tell them what to do, and they can go do it. We'll have to push it back that way some. Huh? put the mulch down like we did today there. We're going to get that, worms will work on that all winter. They'll digest all that into the ground, so now you don't have to buy a lot of fertilizer. Use that hay. That was hay that we couldn't use for anything else. It got wet. We chopped it up, put it on there. The worms will work on it. In the spring we'll go in there. We don't even have to till it. We'll just go in there in the spring and plant plants right in it. It'll already be mulched. Cuts back on the labor. And away we go. That's one good beat. Creating a new home for the future chickens of the world.
Transfer of the chicken.
Oh,
Just put her.
she's like nice.
Or not.
And when they came up here and collected eggs and did that, when you know, just the animal husbandry involved in making sure they have water and feed. We have one girl down here who's chosen to hang out with her brothers rather than her sisters. And we were trying to move her up because we are afraid that she will get bred at too young. And we don't want her to do that too early in her life because it really does affect how well they mother, their whole general health, and all of that. So that's what we were trying to do today, was move her out, and we were not very successful with that.
We got like 20.
So just, you know, seeing the whole cycle of things on the farm and talking about why I wanted the girl out of there so that she didn't get bred by her brothers or her father, you know, and that sort of thing, that, you know, that you have to manage these things in the natural world. And they also get to learn without carrying a tremendous financial responsibility.
Because once they get started at it, they're going to come back to it. Now they're going to look for somebody that's interested in, that needs help, and they want to do it. And if you can, you know, my theory is if you can get somebody started, give them a chunk of ground, let them use it. You know, they can work off some of the, help you a little bit to use the ground. You provide them some of the equipment and get them started. That's the only way you're going to do it. You can raise a lot of stuff off of 1 acre.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. I can't even begin to tell you how thrilled I'm going to be when I go down there and see what those kids did. And it was nothing for them to do, and it would have taken me weeks to get it done. You know, I mean, that's invaluable from my perspective.